And then we did try some kind of like self-care and, gathering things to kind of help me ground myself, and that's why I talk about the experiences, like the senses and trying to calm myself. I got into a lot of like fidgety type things because I like to move around a lot. Like when I move or like when I'm typing, I'm like this. And then sometimes too, I have like this little thing and I'm like reading and I'm like swirling this thing and then I'm like moving and
just because you just need to like more stimulation.
Just stimulation. And I get up a lot now. And it's funny because it's almost like once I had an answer, especially when it came down to the ADHD portion, the way she had explained it is your brain is different. And when you have ADHD, it's not like anxiety or depression where you can work to treat it and maybe change how your brain works. ADHD brain is ADHD brain. And so you have to work with your brain. Like that's just how you are. You know what I mean?
So you pretty much kind of, in a way, multitasking because you need more stimulation?
I think it could vary for a lot of people. I mean, for me, it's small spurts, like, it's hard to explain. It's like small focus points and then break and then focus points and then break.
You know that you mentioned that is because I do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When I edit the podcast, so like I would, I edit the audio, I edit the video, and then once it's exporting, like once I press export, I'm already like, all right, now time for TV. I would watch TV, and then once it's done exporting, and then now I'm like, I can edit more. Like, so when I edit the clips, like the clips are like 5 different clips. So every time I export, I would watch TV, and then
come back to your task.
Come back, and then TV, come back, TV. Like I just there's only a few times where like I'm a little bit overloaded, where like, all right, like I can't do any more than just one task right now, just because I'm feeling overwhelmed. But for the most part, I'm always constantly working, distraction,
doing
working,
something.
entertainment, working, entertainment. So it's like I don't know, like it seems I feel productive that way.
Right.
I'm like, oh, at least I'm done with my task. Now I'm rewarding myself with this.
But see, like, for me, I think that's where I struggle because sometimes I don't finish the task. Most times I don't finish the task. And if I'm not careful with what I'm using to break for, I will forget. I will not go back, especially if what I'm doing now is more exciting. And it's funny because I do that a lot with like my photos or with stuff at work and basically she's like, you're avoiding things. You're like, know, you have to sit there and do something that's boring, you know what I mean? And so you actively search for other things that will make you excited.
That's fair. I feel like you need that dopamine hit.
The dopamine hit. Yeah, that's what she talks about all the time. Dopamine hit. You need the dopamine hit. But it did get to a point where I still felt like even after our sessions, I was still struggling. And obviously with therapy, it's not overnight. Like, you know what I mean? And there's a lot of, steps forward, but there are a lot of steps back. And, I think we both agreed or got to a point where she suggested I go see a psychiatrist. And so I did do that. And the reason being is, they'll, I guess, officially evaluate you and try to give you a diagnosis, right? And then they can also prescribe medication. And I was very, I guess, resistant to the idea of medication. But I think I was just so tired from what I was feeling every day, that I wanted the help.